So, David, tell us something about modern collaboration, how to plan your project in Confluence Cloud.
Yes, thank you. Hello everybody, my name is David. I'm a marketing manager at Cybermedia, and I want to talk a little bit about modern collaboration and how we can manage, organize, and plan our projects in Confluence Cloud. So today I'm going to give you a little introduction into our new cloud apps and how we are thinking about collaboration in the cloud. And then we will jump into a live demo and I will show you how we can plan the projects with our tools. So to navigate the future of modern work environments and future of collaboration, team needs to share ideas, work together, and collaborate in an intuitive way. So what does this mean? Of course, in the recent years, we saw a drastic shift in how teams are working together. Not only do they needed to switch to remote work, they also start to use different tools, and the entire way of working together has changed for many teams and companies. So now it's more important than ever to engage with the tools we use and to keep up with the works and projects we are working on. Because when we actually start to work on projects, teams need to focus on a lot of things. We need to create tasks and processes in a fast and efficient way. We need to meet deadlines and don't want to worry about complex macro configurations. We want to share documents with our teams to keep everyone informed. And of course, we want to oversee the entire progress and to see what's going on. So that's why I think there are some important aspects to consider when thinking about collaboration and working on projects with our teams. We need to avoid friction with synchronized data. This is especially important in Confluence Cloud, where teams create endless pages and information. We also need automated processes to don't need to worry much about complex configurations and workarounds and copy and pasting. We want lists and tasks to be generated automatically, and so on. And of course, our tool should be easy to use, intuitive, so teams can easily create new tasks, build Confluence pages, and document data. And all that is what we try to combine in our apps for Confluence Cloud. So right now, I'm going to give you a short introduction into our different apps we've been working on, and then we can jump into the live demo. So first up is Aura, beautiful formatting macros. Aura is a macro suite with a wide set of macros that allows users to build beautiful pages and engaging content. We have over 12 different macros, like cards, panels, buttons, background images, but also macros to embed HTML and Google documents like slides and docs. With all these macros in one app, it's super easy to build beautiful pages and to structure your content. On top of that, Aura also supports color palettes to keep your corporate colors in check and gives you the ability to build predefined macro templates for your teams to use. Then we have Properties. Properties was initially the cloud version of the Blueprint Creator, which some of you may know. But now it made its way to become a tool to manage and organize your pages and projects. With Properties, you can create custom property groups, which you can then embed on your pages or project pages to see all the relevant information about the page. They tell you who's responsible for something, when something is due, and so on. With these pages, you can then build reports that you can filter, sort, customize, all to organize your projects, documents, on anything else in one place. Another app we've been working on is Checklist for Confluence and Jira. The Checklist app makes it easy to create checklists for any kind of process. They are centrally managed, insert into Confluence pages or Jira issues, and then automatically synchronized between all systems. You can also create templates, which make it easy to automate recurring tasks, and people can use checklists even without Atlassian login. The Checklist app is available for Jira and Confluence Mobile, and we are also currently working on a standalone app for iOS and Android. Another thing, if we stay on topic of templates, a rather new app is Easy Issue Templates for Jira. The app allows to create teams to create templates for Jira issues and subtasks in a very easy and intuitive way. And as you can see, you get a very user-friendly overview of all the templates available, and you can create and edit templates with just a few clicks. So to get back on the topic, the goal of this presentation is to show you how we can plan our projects in Confluence Cloud and how we can collaborate with our team. And therefore, we prepared a demo to show you how we can plan a project, which is how we planned this info session with our cloud tools. So I'm just going to switch to our live demo. We are in our conference space, which we use for our marketing team. This is the place where we plan our projects. In this case, we use it to plan our info session. And of course, what we usually do is create a project page for a new project we want to work on, where we can mention different people, put in our Jira issues, link to different pages, and so on, create timelines, everything to get the project started. While this is pretty helpful at the beginning, maybe we also want to create a page to share with the company, with other teams, a page where the project team can be outline different information in a more visual and beautiful way. And that's why we take the essential information from this page to create a more engaging page like this one. In this case, this is a page we created with the Aura macro to get a beautiful page which we can share with the teams, and also to get all the information at one point at the beautiful overview. Of course, we can create a header image. We can also link to different important informations about the speakers, the location, maybe even the agenda. We can also get other information about activities or meeting rooms, the contact persons, and maybe some tabs to put in more information like a Q&A. All this is pretty easy to consume and better to share within the company. Of course, if we go into edit mode, we can see that all the Aura macros are just integrated on the page. I don't know if you can see it on the projector, but we could just go into one of these macros and edit it. You can see you can easily edit the formatting of this header image, for example. Can just adjust the size, and once we are finished, we can just save it. And of course, we can also edit the other macros, just like the cards. If we go into the card section, we see we have a lot of formatting options. We, of course, can change if we want an icon or an image. We can change the layout, and also more advanced setting like margins and paddings and so on. Then we can easily access the content, where we can add in headline content. We can add icons. Of course, we can change the color. So this makes it pretty easy for teams to create these pages, which are much easier to consume than the usual project pages. So once we are done with the preparations, of course, we want to start planning and assigning tasks. And what we usually do is create a checklist to get all the information down, all the action items. And I already went ahead and prepared a blank page, which we can use for our checklists. If I go into the edit mode, of course, we could just start by typing in some action items with the action items macro. We could also go ahead and use some existing pages which we used in the past. Or we could just use the checklist macro. Here we could either create a new checklist, we could also implement checklist into page templates, and we can also create a button to create checklists from. In this case, I'm going to use the checklist. And yes, I'm sorry. Okay, here we have the different templates we already created, and we can just choose from one. We can also create a new template. In this case, I'm going to select the event planning. And here we can set a name for info session and create. And normally there should be, yes, there should be a checklist. We can just publish the page. Then we can go ahead and start to work on the checklist. Of course, we can just put in tasks, work them up. You can see who created the page, at which time. We can add additional information. Of course, we can see which task has already been completed. We can add notes, and so on. If we go into the backend of the app, we can see all the different checklists we already created. Of course, you can filter them and edit them. And here you can also access the different templates. Of course, you can create new templates. And we also have the ability to choose from predefined examples we provide with the app. So just to get back to our project, once we're done with the planning and with the organization, then we want to go ahead and start with marketing. And therefore, we're going to get on our marketing overview page. And here we see all the different marketing assets we're planning for this project. You can see different things like blog posts, newsletters, LinkedIn campaigns. We can see who is working on them, which channel they should be promoted, when they are due, the status, and the project they are a part of. Right now, we could just create a new asset that we want to promote in our campaign. This could be something like teaser images. And if we want them to be a part of the overview page, we're just going to use the properties macro and the property group. Here we can choose from different property groups which we already created. We have marketing assets and video content right now. And we're going to use the marketing assets. Here we can set a description like create new teaser images. New teasers. Responsible for this task is, in this case, myself. This should be promoted on social media. This should be done by the end of the week. The status is in progress, and it's part of the info session this year. So we can just insert the property group. Then we can start to work on this page, fill out the content, and share it with our teams. Once we are done, we can just publish the page. And we should see the macro here usually. Oh, okay. It isn't working right now. But if we go back to, I'm sorry, it's pretty, okay. If we go back to our page, we can see that the teaser images, I can't see it from here. The teaser images should be edited at this point. But anyway, usually we get the new page in the overview page. And then, of course, if we start to work on these projects, we can just go in here and change the values. Maybe we are finished with the blog post, and then we can put it on done. And we can also change all the other different columns as well. So, and of course, you can also access them over the over this overview report. Just to show you the app as well in the backend, if we go to properties, we can see all the different property groups we already created. We have the marketing assets and the video content. Of course, we can just add new property groups. And here we can just add different properties like text, select, multi-select, people, so user mention. And of course, we can just edit these and save them. So this is some tools we use to plan our projects. Of course, these projects doesn't stop at Confluence Cloud. We also want our teams to work in Jira. Therefore, I'm going to switch to Jira because we also want different tasks to be created so our teams can also work on different issues. In this case, we have our event team. And there are also already some issues we've been working on. But we said we want to save some time and resources, and we want to create a set of issues with a template. Therefore, we're going into apps and into issue templates. And here we have the overview of the different templates for Jira issues, which you can choose from. These are all created by us. Of course, you can also create a new template or edit them. We have things like employee onboarding, where you can see we have all the different issues already pre-made. And in this case, we're going to use the event planning. We see we have the epic and all the different tasks and subtasks. We can just start to use this template. We have the event name, which is info session. And we can submit. And then in just a few clicks, the Jira issues are created. If we go back to our project and event team, we just should see that all the issues should be created. If we go back to issue templates, of course, we can also edit these templates. If we go on something like the trip to Vegas, of course, we can just go into the edit mode. And it's loading pretty quickly. Here we can just add issues, just like buy new backpacks. And of course, we can change the issue type to stories, bugs, epics, and we can predefine the entire issue details. Click on Save, and then we can go back to our templates. So that's that about the apps for Atlassian Cloud we've been working on. I think I'm just in time. If you have any questions, feel free to write us at info@zybertmedia or go into zybertmedia.net and just ask us. We are around, so I don't know if we have time still. No? Okay, so thank you. And yeah.
All right. So we have no time left or what? One question, okay?
Yes.
Thank you. Just curious from the checklist perspective versus the Jira task perspective. Just what have you found? How I guess users find using either I want to create a Jira item task to track something versus a checklist. It's always kind of a big question. Just curious. Thank you.
How we are going to find the issues or the template?
I think the question is more about when should you use a checklist versus when should you use a Jira track. I mean, I know there are different rules of thumb and different perspectives on how to use it, but what have you found where people use the checklist macro versus, let's say, a Jira task there?
Yes. I think Martin wants...
So I'm going to the CEO.
So there is red and blue problems. Problems are complicated. So you know how to build this watch. You just have to follow certain steps. If you have a blue problem, a complicated problem, you can answer this with the question of how. How am I going to build this watch? This is the area of checklists. Jira is in the red area where we have complex problems. A complex problem you can never answer with the question of how. How am I going to make this successful? It's not going to lead anywhere. What you need to ask with a complex problem is who? Who is going to make this problem or this project successful? So this is, you need people with skills who have mastery, and this is a Jira task. So every red problem should be a Jira task, a subtask, or whatever. And every blue problem should be a checklist. And there are, I admit, some areas where you may want to convert a checklist item to a Jira task because you can check it off, it's too complicated or something. But if you want to have the other 28 minutes, find me later.